What's going on, everybody? We had Starlink launches this week, some Project Kuiper news, some Jim Bridenstine news, and then always Starship stuff. I'm EJ, this is the Flame Trench.
And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, roll, planet.
Water towers, fly! Yes! Echo down to nominal.
Flight downside, FD off. Bring in, FD off. It's orange!
145! Oh my god!
Decollage.
Look at this!
Put that in the big bag,
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
The methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You dead? Sure. We don't need any more of these.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Flame Trench, where we kind of informally talk about what's going on here in the spaceflight industry. I'm EJ, NASA spaceflight commentator, and I'm also extremely tired. I covered that Starlink launch this morning. That caught up to your boy a little bit, but I'm gonna go for it. Here we go. I am joined by my competent cohort of co-hosts. Yep, screwed it up on the first word. Not great, Bob. Not great. But joining me today, we got Sawyer Rosenstein. Sawyer, how you doing?
Bonjour, comment ça va? Joyeux vendredi. Oh wait, hang on. Sorry, this isn't the Flame French. This is the Flame Trench. Oh, okay. So I got it backwards. How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday.
I am also picking up that you might be tired as well.
Understatement of the century. It has been a day.
Yep. It has been a day. And then bringing up the rear, we got Ryan Weber. Ryan.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. I might be here. Am I here?
Are you tired as well?
In the Ethernets. I mean, it's Monday night for work for me, so I don't know. But I'm here. Hi, everyone. How's it going?
Hey, it's Monday night somewhere.
Right?
Wait. No. It's got to be your bull.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jimmy Buffett.
Wait. Anyway, so you guys know the drill. We had a couple of topics to talk about with what happened in spaceflight this week. If you want more formal stuff, we have This Week in Spaceflight that happens after this. Producers at NSF, we're like, we'll put you guys first, and then the good stuff comes later. It's like, okay. Speaking of producers, I think we have Kevin producing today. Kevin, are you out there?
We'll get the voice of God at some point, I'm sure.
I had to unmute, but I'm here.
I love putting him on the spot, Chad. It makes me happy. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, EJ. Love you.
Yeah. All right, man. All right. Cool. Kevin's in the background going on. Anyway. All right. So we got a couple of topics to talk about here. If you want to participate in the discussion, we will go through questions and we will go through support and everything. You guys know the deal. Tag at NASASpaceflight if you want to join in the conversation with us. Anyway, first topic. Sawyer, Project Kuiper news. What do you got for me?
Yeah, so I know you had the Starlink launch this morning, but we have had a bunch of Kuiper launches, and they now have over 100 satellites, and the first ones are in their 630-kilometer orbit. So they made it, and they did the first speed test on it. And while they did not show the upload speed, they absolutely showed the download speed, and it was over a gigabyte download speed from their first satellites. They did note that it was on a closed network, so there's little caveats to it, But the fact that just using speedtest.com, the same one that I'm sure most of us all use, connected directly to the Kuiper network, they were able to get a gigabyte down from space. That's pretty good. That's pretty good if I do say so myself. No, it's not bad. Better than, some land-based providers. I'm not going to name names, Comcast. Anyway, so... but...
Can't confirm what? Sorry.
Yeah. But with that news, we also have news that a major airline is actually going to be taking on Project Kuiper. So the first airline that will be flying with Kuiper satellites, or using Kuiper satellites, is JetBlue Airlines. So JetBlue, I'm selfishly love them. They're my favorite airline. I've been a TrueBlue member since the mid-2000s, like when they first started flying. I love JetBlue. So this is kind of cool. For those who don't know, they do have Wi-Fi on board JetBlue planes currently. They call it Fly-Fi instead of Wi-Fi. I love JetBlue. It's got the pun written on the side of the plane. Anyway, they use Viasat currently, which is a geostationary orbiting one, versus Kuiper, which will be the low Earth orbit transferring one. So we will have that scheduled, at least, to begin on some planes in 2027. And Airbus also announced they will be adding it into their repertoire of things that they offer. Keep in mind, by the way, that JetBlue exclusively flies the A320 family, A321s, which is Airbus, and the A220s, which is the Airbus Bombardier mashup thing, but basically Airbus as well. So they're getting rid of the E190s. So yeah, JetBlue will be flying Amazon Kuiper. What do we think? Do you think they're actually going to be able to get that up and operational in time for 2027 to be starting to use it on flights?
That's a lot of launches. I mean, seeing a big ramp up. We're starting to. There's another. We saw the last Kuiper mission on a Falcon 9, and then the third one, Kuiper 3, is on an Atlas 5. That is being stacked right now, so it's trending in the right direction. But I don't know, man. With the amount of satellites that they have to send up there, that's a little bit of a tall order. I'm not saying it can't be done. Just a tall order. That's all. Ryan, what do you think?
It's going to be interesting because I think that FCC license requires them to have, it's like around 1,600 or something within like the next 11 months. And they have like 102 or so. And that's gonna be tough to get that many sats up that quick. If it were just Falcon 9 flying them and just SpaceX flying them, I wouldn't say there was much of an issue with that, but you're trying to fly it, yes, on Falcon, which there's not a lot launches selected for it, but you're also trying to do with Atlas, Vulcan, Ariane 6, and eventually New Glenn. But as we know, there's a couple of those rockets that, well, one of them is still waiting on its second flight, which isn't until at least it's October, November, or whatever. It's later this year, at least. And then Atlas and Vulcan don't really have that high of a launch rate, and neither does Ariane 6. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to make that.
How many Vulcan launches have we seen this year? 2? And then 2 Ariane 6 as well? I think I watched, pretty sure, not that this isn't entirely a good analog, but I think I watched the 111th Falcon 9 launch this morning this year. I mean, I'm not trying to fanboy a little bit, but some of those numbers aren't like the other ones. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, that was the actual speed test that they did. This was from Panos Panay, who is vice president of devices and services at Amazon. So this was the actual test that they did. Again, just using speedtest.com, basically. That's some good speeds. And apparently, when they start flying with it, they claim that they'll be using their most powerful receiver that will be able to give passengers on board individual devices gigabit speed, which, I mean, we have Starlink on planes now. I don't think they ever promised that they would be able to provide gigabit speed, or be capable of providing gigabit speed while in the air. That is surprisingly fast. Again, difference being Starlink is up there. It is established. It works. We know it works. We know it works in planes. Kuiper is still yet to deliver, because I know a lot of the comments on that post, and one that is a fair point is, that's great. That's one person off of 100 satellites. How are you going to handle an entire network of people? What if you start getting 3,000 people there? What if you start getting more than that? Will those satellites still be able to maintain that type of download speed? Also, we have no idea what the upload speed is. That was only a download test. They never posted the upload portion.
See, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, what's the up there, and how will you handle high bandwidth? But I mean, fellas, I got a crazy theory, and I want to bounce it off you guys. This is time for EJ's crazy theories. It's a good time. Trust me. Some people are like, okay, where's the door? No, please come back. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway. So, Sawyer, you were just comparing Project Kuiper to Starlink, right? But I have a feeling that Project Kuiper isn't exactly like an analog to Starlink. Now, we do have Project Kuiper satellites now being used for airplane service, right? But I'll be honest, man, I don't really understand why they do that, because as far as I can tell, and this is just a theory, I don't know, I'm just, let's get the ball rolling. Let's see what happens here. I don't think that Kuiper is like end user internet experience. I really don't think it's like Starlink. Oh gosh, why are you doing this?
Because we're in your crazy corner. It's black and whitish and zoomed in.
Ninjas, man, they're coming to get me. Anyway, I don't think that. I think that Project Kuiper is. I think that really why Amazon wants to put them up there is to connect their data centers together. They want better throughput and connectivity between all the Amazon data centers around the world. So I think Project Kuiper is a back-end system for Amazon Web Services. I mean, I don't know. Discuss it in the chat. Ask me questions. Enhance the shot. Look at the bags under my eyes. I don't know. Do what you want. And in that regard, I don't really understand why you'd want to partner with airlines to do something like this. But it still does kind of reinforce my theory that I think Project Kuiper is not really designed for end user stuff. It's not like a single end user. It's really designed to link data centers together, or broadcast to an airplane and then have it be distributed via the airplane systems, right? Like, Ryan, that's how that works, right? It's an antenna, and then the antenna is distributed throughout the plane. I'm not really 100% sure. I mean, off the top of your head,
the antenna would likely go to a route, would directly go to like a router or modem that would then broadcast a Wi-Fi signal throughout the plane. Yeah. Is likely what it did set up. And I mean, it is kind of odd that they just launched this, and their first speed test, and then their first the speed test is interesting, but it's in a completely unloaded network. What happens if you stick 108 people, or for that matter, what happens if you stick 350 people or 3,000 people on that network, or 1 million, 2 million? Mm-hmm. What are the speeds then? What does it load? The latency is whatever, because it's a little slightly higher orbit. That's but I think it's a bit
on
interesting.
That, Ryan. Can I jump in?
Sure.
Yes.
Because as someone who's currently building a low latency network for NSF, I have to disagree with you, EJ. Really? I don't think this is for Amazon, because Amazon can get across the country in 40 milliseconds. The download latency is 71 milliseconds on this test. Now, we didn't see the upload latency. I bet you the upload latency is even higher. Now, they can fix that, but they're in a pretty high orbit. I don't think this is for AWS connectivity.
You don't think it's to supplement the fiber lines?
No.
Really?
Maybe. maybe it can do better with lasers in space if they do something like that. I don't even know if that's in their plan. Like for international, but within the United States, this latency is outrageous. No one who's using AWS right now would want this kind of latency. They're looking for sub-millisecond latency on AWS's network, not 71 milliseconds.
What if you have like a data center in China, for instance? What's the ping between China and the United States? Like if you're a business in the US, it's doing business in China.
It's a couple hundred milliseconds probably. And if they can do that in space faster than they can do it with fiber on the ground, then maybe that's a thing. But not within continents.
That number is a huge decrease.
But that's from AWS to La Grande, Oregon. That's within the United States.
Yeah, they blurred the IP address, obviously, but it is. Yeah, it's in Oregon.
I don't know. I'm sorry for interrupting you guys, but
it's
these
a good conversation.
And SpaceX is beating this right now with latency. SpaceX's latency is in the 30 millisecond range. So more than half of what Amazon is doing or Kuiper is doing right now. Now SpaceX when they first started was like 60 milliseconds. So maybe Kuiper still has some tuning that could happen.
I'm also curious to know because it's the whole thing we're comparing Kuiper to Starlink, but Starlink is we know for a fact it's not in its final state. Once, and we'll get to it later, Starship, you're gonna get your version 3 Starlinks, which are supposedly gonna literally leapfrog everything else and put the Starlink constellation to stupendous levels. But of course, we don't know the actual numbers until they start doing it. But I think it is kind of weird that we haven't seen like a kit with a phased array antenna like for Starlink for Kuiper. It's a little, at least I haven't seen one. And their first thing is to go with JetBlue. It is a little weird, but I'm excited to see it. It'll be interesting to have compensation.
Now,
sorry for interrupting again. Didn't Lon see something last year? I think Sorry, go ahead.
There is. I mean, this is kind of throwing a monkey wrench in my own theory, but there is an end terminal that they are working on. It is a phased array antenna, and it's a phased array antenna on a pivot with four, like on a gray rod with 4 legs coming out the bottom, and the antenna is painted white.
Sounds familiar.
Never seen that before. It's really
never seen that before. I couldn't remember. I just couldn't remember for that. But.
And the other thing also, when we talk about the orbits and shells that they're going to be using for Kuiper, I mean, this is 630 is the highest of their 3 shells that they're planning on. There's 590 kilometers, 610 kilometers, and 630. Most of which are still above what Starlink is using. Starlink is definitely lower to the ground or closer to Earth, which offers you lower latency. The negative being those re-enter quicker. When you have something like SpaceX who is capable of launching so many satellites to replace them, it's not as big a deal. Whereas obviously right now, supplying the launches to launch these satellites for Kuiper is a little more difficult. I'm wondering if that's playing a role where they're at the point of let's aim for slightly higher orbit, deal with a little bit more latency, and then not have to worry about launching as much versus SpaceX's, we'll get you things faster because we can launch faster. Because I love in the press release for this, they said they've already had 4 Kuiper launches in 4 months. What was it? 4 Kuiper launches in 4 months? I'm like, or 4 weeks, whatever it was. It's like, oh yeah, great. SpaceX has launched 4 times this week.
Yeah, that so getting them to scale is, I don't know. That's still out there, but yeah, I don't know. I know Amazon. They don't try to take historically, like Amazon doesn't try to go like right after, like take on a challenger head on, right? They'll find another way. They usually find something else to make profit to. Like you're gonna try to beat Starlink at their own game. Okay, all right. Let's see how that works. That's
why on Prime. Sorry.
Oh,
Head
Oh.
on, fly directly to the forehead. Head on, fly directly to the forehead.
Hey, they don't give us money, man. Don't advertise for them.
Don't apply directly to the forehead.
Yeah. There you go. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put it on your cheeks or something. I don't know.
Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all good. I mean, Starlink is such a tremendous. I mean, the gap is like David and Goliath right now. So we'll see. But the other thing to think about, Amazon's got deep pockets. So
I'm going to jump in again with another question.
Kevin, what's up, man?
Because this is really interesting to me, right? Like I play with networks all day long. I'm building networks all day long. I'm wondering if does Amazon have one of the contracts for the lunar networks?
Oh, no, I think that Intuitive Machines has it, if I'm remembering right.
I remember.
Okay. I wonder if really the Kuiper project is actually looking beyond low Earth orbit and looking towards lunar and Martian orbits. Yeah, and the other thing that I was just thinking about, I'm sorry I keep jumping in, is you're never going to beat the speed of light. Like the latencies are you're not going unless like someone breaks the laws of physics. Like RF is not going to break the speed of light. So there's always going to be a problem unless they add lasers, which is light. But then you have like atmospheric interference and stuff like that. But I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry, guys.
You'd have to come up with some kind of quantum entanglement communication or something along those lines, or if we figured out subspace existed. That's like your only option to reduce your latency for anything that's in orbit or going to another planet. So, yeah, it's something that the human race is not capable of doing at this time. So
I do want to acknowledge, because I'm reading chat as we do this, and there are some people saying, you might be being a bit unfair, pointing out that, 4 launches in 4 months is pretty good considering that's how SpaceX started off. And, they started slow and then their pace picked up big time. So I do have to acknowledge that. That is a fair point. This is a brand new network just starting up. The fact that their first batch of 100 satellites, the first ones to make it into their initial orbit, are showing this much promise already is fantastic. The fact that when you're on an airplane and you're browsing Wi-Fi, you don't care if there's a 70 millisecond latency. You want internet. That is amazing. If they can get that constellation up and running within the timeline that they are required to by the FCC to have half of their network up by mid next year, that would be spectacular. We want this to succeed. Team Space, competition is really good, and as we're pointing out, and I think it's becoming more apparent, is this is a slightly different competition. It's not so much who is going to own the home internet satellite network. This is who's going to specialize their satellite internet for their industry the best. Starlink does great for home and people just putting it in their personal vehicles, putting it in their planes, people going off the grid. Well, camping off the grid where there's no access to it, things like that. They do that perfectly. I think Amazon is going to find that business niche like we've been talking about. They're going to get those airline and Airbus partners. They're going to get data centers that might want to use it. They're going to find that commercial use, and of course they'll offer it to people too, but I don't think that's going to be their primary business goal, and I think that's where the competition comes between these two.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm talking about, dude. I don't think there's got to be something. There's got to be something else. They're not just going to do it just for end users. I don't think. Like, there's got to be another reason. I don't know. Data center might be data centers. Who knows? But yeah, there's definitely. I think there's another business case here. I'm just trying to figure out what it could possibly be. But yeah, I mean, either way, this is getting us more rocket launches. So
yeah,
not really complaining.
I'm all for it. Let's go.
Yeah,
Wait, you were complaining earlier about a rocket launch with internet satellites because you were tired.
I didn't complain about the launch. I complained about the time of the launch.
Touche.
No, the launch was great. Problem is, launch got me wide awake at like 7 in the morning. So I'm like, okay, I'm good.
And
Okay.
like with Kuiper and Starlink, I would just say this: 2 options is always better than 1.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
period. Please, no monopolies. Please, no. Those are always bad. Always bad. So, I like that Amazon is trying to push this. And I mean, if they do this for like beyond low Earth orbit, like go to the moon or Mars, heck, you have a Starlink constellation and a Kuiper constellation on both, which means you have redundant communication with Earth. There you go. Or at least redundant comms throughout the planet. There's nothing wrong with that. That's always a great idea. Redundancy is great. So, right.
Yeah. Also, please no Monopoly. The game lasts 4 hours and has broken apart many of my friends.
Sawyer, you ever played Risk?
Oh, God.
Axis and
Yeah,
Allies?
speaking of long
I
games.
played Axis and Allies. Yeah. Risk and Axis and Allies and Monopoly ruin friendships. That is absolutely a thing.
Shout out to my good friend Tizzy. I'm sorry.
Wait, still your good friend?
Somehow, yes. It's a miracle.
All right. Shout out to Tizzy then. Okay, cool. I'm going to pop through some support here real quick. We have Space Pope. Lesson this French. I mean, trench.
Space Boat.
That was good. Très bien.
And then Kevin tee it up. We tee up the sound effect. We have Ninja Decimators. All
Code
right.
3.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right, that
I
was
don't
good
have-
enough.
Oh, wait. I have it. Sequence 4.
Wait. Oh!
There
All
it
right.
goes.
Cool. Better late than never. All right.
Sorry.
Ninja Decimator with a $10 super chat. Bless this trench. Oh wait, that's the Space Pope's job. Let's go, Flight 11. All right. Yeah. There we go. Good stuff. Reading chat. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Shall we move on?
We're looking for support. I have one more thing. AWS, and I'm trying to tie this back because you have me thinking, EJ. AWS
dangerous.
does have what they call AWS ground station, which is the ability to talk to satellites, and they actually have like satellite trucks that they'll send out to locations. And it was used for video, but there's also the ability to talk to satellites. And like, for example, I just saw on this page that Capella Space uses them for ground communications to satellites. So, maybe this is an extension of that. I think this is actually, ground station is actually subcontracted to another company. I don't think it's an Amazon direct product. But maybe there's something there too. Sorry. I'm interested in this stuff. Getting video signals to space is cool.
See, Kevin's not just a producer.
Yeah,
He's also a nerd.
and a commentator.
Yeah. And a on-camera personality now for our members' server building streams.
Oh yeah, those are great.
We'll have to give an update on that because I may have pushed forward a little faster than members would have wanted.
You know what? I just got a good idea for MB's content. But next time we're all like at a Starlink or a Starship launch, not Starlink. We should play a game of Risk and stream it.
Ooh.
Oh
no! There would be a fight. There would be a fight.
No.
Someone would get punched in Minecraft.
There had to be some language rules for that. Yeah.
Let's see how many people have a name that ends in an IE at the end. Karki, Jerky, like you stole my stuff, you jerky. Come on, there's gotta be one. Flamey, Trenchy. What else we got? Patchy, like the
And
Flight
Rovery.
10 patch. Which, by the way, there's still some left. Not that many, but there's still some left for Flight 10, and we still have all the Flight 10 merch available as well. So if you're not a patch fan, we still have the mugs and all of that, and of course, the redemption. Dun dun. We're not even at Starship stuff yet, but we're already plugging the Starship stuff. Because I did see one of the prints already getting sold above EJ's head at one point, so...
All right.
Yeah. So check
Why does
it out.
always
And
go
again,
over me. You always put me up here, so when somebody buys something, my head turns into an ad. Is that on purpose?
EJ, everything always goes over your head. It's fine. So then you can check these out. And a reminder that a portion of the print, when you buy it, goes directly to the photographer. I would say you're
Nothing.
catching strays, but again, you're not catching them. They're going over you.
Sawyer, a portion of the print. So does the manufacturer break off part of the print and send it to the photographer?
I've had a day today, okay? In case you can't tell. It's been a day. Yes, you will get a tiny corner of your print will be missing, and it will be sent directly to Jack or Max. Now, a portion of the sales from said print will go to the photographer.
We're doing just fine today, boys. We're doing just
We're
fine.
great.
Everything's
We're
good.
Great. We're not about to break down. We're
Totally
great.
fine. Nothing wrong. Yep.
No, we're good. You think we should go to the next topic? I think we should go to the next
This
topic.
is such a lovely topic. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
we need a nice light, airy topic after that moment. What can we
Yeah.
do to bring the mood up dramatically?
Yeah.
Ryan?
Hey, Jim Bridenstine doesn't like how complicated HLS is. He says it's overcomplicated. There's too many refuelings. NASA's gonna lose to China to get to the moon. Yeah, it's honestly great. I would say this to Jim right off the bat, or you know what? I'll go ahead and just ask Sawyer and EJ here right off the bat. What's the goal of Artemis? Either one of you could answer this. What's the goal of the Artemis program?
Go back to the moon, sustainable lunar exploration, and use what you learned to go to Mars.
Okay, I'll tell you, HLS is not enough for that. It's not even enough. Like what NASA's doing for the Artemis program, Gateway plus SLS plus Starship plus even Blue Moon, it's not enough. If you really wanted to go back to the moon, create a sustainable presence there, and go to Mars, you need SLS, you need New Glenn, you need Starship, you need Stoke, you need Relativity, you need Falcon 9, you need everything, all of it. Vulcan, you name it. You need every rocket capable of launching everything you can, whether it's raw materials, whether it's propellants, whether it's landers, whatever. With the Starship and HLS, they're funding the bare minimum. They're funding to make a Starship to go to the surface of the moon and hopefully deliver 100 tons. Well, the 100 tons is great, but when you want to build a massive base there and sustain it there, 100 tons, it gets you far, but what if you could do more? I honestly say to him, it's not complicated enough. To be honest with you, you need more. That's what I say.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I think in Jim's testimony to this was a Commerce, Justice, and Science Senate meeting, guys, for the people that don't know. And Jim Bridenstine was there as to give a testimony for it. This is basically a testimonial on a Senate floor, guys. Is basically somebody telling senators, like, hey, an industry expert or somebody saying, like, hey, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. Now, Ryan, I'm not going to disagree with you and say, we should we should send more. We need to go more to the moon. But I do believe the topic of discussion from this Senate meeting was, is China going to beat us back to the moon? And while I don't think you're wrong, like, we're going to need to fire on all cylinders to do what the Artemis program wants. It's very interesting that they'd hold this kind of meeting, because this was talking about being expedient. It's talking about beating China back to the moon. Now, that brings up a question. If we're going to try to build a city on the moon, is beating them there really a thing we should even care about? You know what I mean? Well, politicians seem to think it's a very important thing that we should be working, which is okay. I mean, at least they're interested, I guess. Like, that's cool. But what Jim said there is, I do believe he said that something like firing on all cylinders is not going to get us there expediently, which Dude, I'll admit I kind of agree with that, and I'm a huge Starship fan. Like I love Starship. Starship's the best. Like I think that's going to change everything. But Jim agrees. He thinks it's going to change it. He just doesn't think it's going to change everything in time to beat China back to the moon. Which, you know what, I like Jim Bridenstine. He was a great NASA administrator. He did great things there. He's very articulate. He can explain things very, very well. In another life, he'd be a great STEM educator, right? Like, but I understand where he's coming from. It really makes sense. I mean, HLS is a complicated lander. It's a complicated lander. And once again, fellas, this ain't no slight against Starship. Starship, it's funny because, and just hear me out here. I'll talk more about this in a second. He said that that's not the quickest way back. That's right. That's because it's a complicated lander. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time for SpaceX to dial it in. Now, I kind of see where he's coming from. In many ways, Ryan, he's kind of inadvertently saying what you're saying. Like we need more ways to get there that are simpler, if we're going to beat China there. And then, later we want to build out the infrastructure. You want to fire on all cylinders, and then you can get anywhere on the moon, anywhere at any time. Like, I do understand that, but here's where I'm getting a little confused. And chat, maybe you guys can help me out. Jim said that the most expedient way to beat China back to the moon is to build Gateway. I agreed with everything he was saying pretty much up until that point. Gateway, expedient. It's very weird to hear those in the same sentence. Sawyer, is that not a little bit weird, or?
Weird is an understatement for that. I mean, I've made my opinion clear on Gateway. It would be very cool, but right now it is expensive and impractical. I'm not on board with Gateway, I'll say. The one thing that Bridenstine made two really good points that I do want to bring up in regards to all of this. The first one being that the selection for the lunar landers was made not while he was administrator. It was also not made while, I keep wanting to call him Skeletor, while Bill Nelson was NASA administrator. This was during an acting administration.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't call me Skeletor and get what? Sorry. Anyway, keep going.
This wasn't made when there was an actual NASA administrator. It was during an acting NASA administrator's term when they did it. They kind of snuck it in between. And the other thing that he said that I think is going to be a fun debate but was interesting was he said that NASA didn't buy a lander, they bought a big rocket. And I mean, when you think about it, it's not wrong. Yes, the lander is a part of it, but how do you get said lander? You have to launch it on Starship. Cool, that's fine. But then you have to refuel it. How do you refuel it? You send a bunch of refueling tugs. How do you do that? You launch it on Starship. And then you have more Starships dock to the HLS Starship to refuel the Starship. So, I mean, you cannot do that without a lot of Starship launches. And again, they have them on the schedule. They're working on getting the permission. There's the environmental stuff going on now to have over 100 launches a year from the Cape of Starship, and that's not counting the launches that they can do from Starbase. I mean, it's such a complicated infrastructure. We haven't done any in-orbit refueling tests. Then again, to be fair, neither has Blue Origin. Theirs will also need refueling along the way. But it's just the architectural design of we need to launch it, we need to refuel it on the way there, and keep refueling it, and then send it out, and then deal with it. It's so stinking complex. There is no really not complex way to do this. I understand that. But this feels so highly complex that I am on Jim's side on this. Again, Starship is going to be fantastic as a vehicle for launching humanity outward. I think it's going to be great for future stuff. It's going to be great for massive payloads to orbit and massive payloads beyond Earth orbit. But as a landing architecture, I'm with Jim. You bought a rocket. You didn't buy a lander. Exactly. There's the Max Poggy face.
Poggies. Maxi Poggies. Wait, what? All right. Anyway.
I would.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
I would say this: if our plan was to beat China, no matter what, SLS is the worst rocket to do it on, every which way, totally. If you wanted to beat China, you needed to build a Saturn V style rocket that can do more than what I think Block 1 is 75 tons or something to orbit. Block 2 is like up to the 95 ton range. Saturn V, the later versions could do like what, 120, 140? Or it was like 120 or something like that. They
120.
Yeah, it was in the 120 range for the later Saturn Vs. If you wanted to beat them to the moon, then you needed to design a command module with a service module, a lander, and a rover that can all fit onto one single rocket, launch it all at once, and boom, you beat them to the moon, done. No refueling necessary, boom, there you go. If you wanted to be the first to the moon, then that's what you got to do. But that's not what you're technically trying to do. Artemis wants to get there and be sustained there, which you need more than just that to get there. And yes, it's complicated. Starship is definitely complicated. It's going to take a long time to figure it all out. I highly doubt HLS is ready by 27, 28. That's just me. There's so many things to be able to have to figure out. And the launch cadence, I mean, even with the numbers we recently just got from Elon, which is the 100 tons plus, even at 100 tons, you need 15 tanker flights just for one refuel of HLS. And that, mind you, is a single refuel. HLS needs 2 refuels to get to the moon. It's got one in Leo, and it's got one, I think, in heliocentric orbit. It needs 2.
Helio?
Or whatever. It's a highly elliptical orbit, I think it was. There's a pair of depots that it has to go to, if I remember correctly.
In Earth orbit or in lunar?
Earth. So basically, it refuels in Leo, it burns to make an elliptical orbit, then it refuels again, then it TLIs, as last time I saw.
Huh.
Which means you're looking at 25 to 30 tankers to refuel at. That is complicated.
I mean, there's no doubt. Sure, that's absolutely a complicated thing. Now that begs the question, though. Like, okay, at this point in time, so Ryan, let me give you a conditional hypothetical. Mm-hmm. Say you were tasked by the president to get back to the moon, and he gave you a blank check and complete control over NASA. You make all the decisions. You're the guy running the show. No congressman or anything is going to give you any flack about nothing. You need to beat China back to the moon by, let's say, 2029. How are you doing it?
If we have to beat China back to the moon by 2029, if you're doing the current architecture that you currently have in order to beat them, I would have to say you figure out a way to put a very small lander on SLS Block 1B and launch it. That's the quickest way to get there.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I like this idea.
You have to stick it on the US. That is, if you want to beat them, that is the only way to truly beat them, to do it the quickest. As much as I hate to admit it, it is the quickest way. Because I honestly think EUS might be ready before Starship's ready to get all those refueling flights to that. But if I had a blank check to do everything else, we get dry docks and other things in orbital construction, but to beat them, you basically have to put a lander in the stage adapter and then do your transmission docking maneuver. That's like your only way. You basically have to do Apollo. You have to repeat Apollo. And even then, it's kind of a bit of a pain in the butt because you're doing NRHO. Can the European Space Module do that with Orion attached along with that? Can it bring all that down to this?
Well, Orion's was supposed to move gateway modules out to Gateway originally.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't see why it wouldn't be able to
do that.
To move something kind of useful to Gateway. But once again, we're talking about a high delta V lander coming from rectilinear halo. That'd
be fun.
Orion, Yeah. Orion can't get to low lunar. Its service module is inadequate by design, which I'm
don't
not.
even. Let's not even
Yeah.
go there.
So, okay, Sawyer, same
Bring
question
back
to
the
you.
Apollo one.
Yes, please. But just put solar panels on the CSM and call it a day. So, Sawyer, blank check question for you. Same thing. Orion, did you have anything to add?
No. Sorry, you can go ahead.
Okay, same thing. How are you getting back to the moon with basically you have carte blanche to do whatever you want? You're running NASA. How do you do it?
Uncancel Constellation, although make a better looking rocket than Ares 1.
Ares 5 back? Ooh.
I want Ares 5 back. It made the most sense. It's you launch the crew and the heavy parts separately. Use the heavy lifter, deal with all of your lander and stuff. You don't have to worry about the squishy meat things. Then you launch the squishy meat things on the specific squishy meat thing rocket. I mean, that's kind of what they're aiming for now, except the squishy meat thing rocket is the giant SLS, which I feel like in this case could be used, like we're talking about here, with the amount of capacity they were planning to be able to launch with SLS. You could launch a huge lander on that and not need as many, if any, in-orbit refueling around Earth. Then you could focus on launching depots out to the lunar surface. Focus on launching Gateway out there using SLS. It gives a reason to launch SLS. I mean, even in Ryan's scenario with that blank check, it finally gives SLS purpose. It gives them reasons to keep building more, and the more you build, the cheaper they get. That would have helped in the beginning. But I think that idea, honestly, is... As much as I dislike Ares 1, and I'm sorry, I'm not in the Ares 1 fan club, that architecture, though, was brilliant.
So,
all
right.
Actually...
Go ahead, Ryan.
So I would just say this. I would love to know how much money it would take to restart the RS-68 line and then make it human rated. I mean, I know it's a blank check, but I would love to know how much money that Rocketdyne would ask for that. But
$1 billion.
Basically, what you're proposing is basically an RS-25E. We already have that. So I mean,
yeah, our Ares 5 would have been 140 tons to low Earth orbit with the Earth departure stage, which would have been a couple of J2Xs. Please, God, give it to me. I would take it if we get a blank check and we could develop it in time. Yeah, I mean that's 3.5 years.
Now, dude, it's doable, right?
Yeah,
that's doable, dude. Doable. Now,
EJ, same question to you.
Okay,
actually,
all right.
Wait.
Go ahead.
What if you here we're gonna go down a rabbit hole. What if you gave a blank, and I mean a blank check in terms of environmental money, whatever, to Starship? What if you gave a blank check to SpaceX to basically say you can build any pad you want over at the Cape, anywhere you want at the Cape. You can build any factory you want at the Cape as quick as you want. Here's all the manpower in the world to do it and whatnot. They could probably get Starship operational if they did that. Honestly, they could probably get it. At that point, the scale would be ridiculous, but they could probably do that. But
that'd be pretty good.
That would be more than just a blank check of money. That'd be a blank check of ignoring every environmental regulation there is. That's what that would be.
SpaceX already has a blank check, guys.
Right.
That's true.
Exactly.
It's the regulation that would be the stopper, the blocker.
That's true.
Okay, fellas, you asked. You proposed that same question to me. How do you beat China back to the moon quick? Here's my way of doing it. You throw EUS and the Gateway in the trash, and then you go to Blue Origin, get them to. I mean, clearly they've upped their second stage production here because Dave Limp is testing second stages out there real quick, right? So here's what you do. You take Blue Origin New Glenn's second stage and you put it on SLS Block 1B instead of the EUS. Right?
Whoa.
And then, Universal Stage Adapter, Orion on top, do your Apollo style thing with whatever lander. Could be Blue Moon Mark II at that point. You guys got to remember, New Glenn's upper stage, 7-meter core diameter with a meganewton of thrust behind it. I just for the record, I'm going to remind everybody Yes, that a Saturn V third stage, the S4B, 6.6 meter core diameter with a meganewton of thrust behind it. I'm just putting it out there.
No, it's the New Glenn's GS2, I guess, yeah, is basically a S4B, but modern.
Yeah. Rockets are not Legos, all four. Hey, this is a blank check scenario, all right? Don't get realistic on me.
Figure it out.
Don't get realistic.
Here's the thing. It's just
hold on, real
engineering.
quick. Okay, go ahead. I
was like, it's just engineering. They can figure that out. That I don't think it would be that hard to figure out how to put a GS2 on an SLS. I don't think it'd be that hard.
All you need is a forward load reactor like Atlas 500. Now I say that like that's some easy thing to do, but you would have SLS, basically the top of SLS would look like an Atlas 500, but instead of a 5.4 meter fairing, it's a 10 meter fairing. And the GS2 rides inside of the inner stage on top of the core stage. I'm just saying. That's not doable. Now, Sawyer, to pull up your end of the argument, I liked your EOR super heavy lift crew launch idea. So Blue Origin's already building New Glenn to be human rated. What do you say we put Orion on top of New Glenn, right, and use that as your Ares 1?
I mean, if Delta 4 Heavy was still flying, I'd say keep going with that. Because obviously there was the EFT-1 was done on Delta 4 Heavy, albeit it was just in a quick little hop trajectory, not really a full orbital thing. But I'm game. I like that idea. And again, you still need other things lifted up into orbit. That's where Starship comes in. I think when it comes to, getting the lander and all that stuff, there you go. When it comes to the people, you've got SLS. And when it comes to getting all of the architecture needed out there, doing all the supplies, getting all of the essentials, setting up the base, everything like that on the lunar surface, that I think is where Starship is going to shine. The amount of payload that's going to be able to carry and lift at once, rather than having to assemble everything, is a game changer. And I think that's where, if you get that harmony of the three of them, with Orion on SLS, the lander with, Orion with New Glenn, and then Starship with everything else, all the architecture, everything that goes with it, I think that's a winning scenario. But because right now, I saw someone say this in chat earlier, and they're not wrong. Starship is a Mars rocket. It's not a moon rocket. I don't think it's a moon rocket. Elon has said the goal of Starship is to get to and return to Mars. The architecture and design that they've set up for that to go outward for exploration is pretty darn perfect for Mars. When you want to get somewhere closer to Earth and you want to get there quick, it's not a fast design for that. It's great for when you have 6 to 9 months to get everything out there and carry it all at once. But when you need to try and beat China, if you want to go that way, by the end of this president's term, it's not the vehicle for it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, you know what the crazy thing is, guys? I phrased that question in the form of like a blank check. I'm pretty sure both of the architectures that you guys proposed, say Sawyer making Ares 5, don't take this the wrong way. Like, I'm pretty sure both of those are quite doable without a blank check, If in Sawyer, in your scenario, if we just swap out Ares 5 with SLS, right, use the core stage in the 5 segments, put a higher energy upper stage on top of it, 10 meter fairing, right, and then use like New Glenn as your Ares 1, I'm pretty sure both of these scenarios would not require a blank check. You wouldn't need like an Apollo Herculean effort to do something like that. But that begs the question, like, so here's where I'm going with this, all right? Now, let's snap back to reality. No, gravity's not going anywhere. No, dang it, don't do it.
Darn it. Yeah, you're right. Now we'll get copyright struck because I sound just like... Anyway.
So, now, let's flip back. Now, we get back to reality. Congress is doing their thing. What's the dichotomy here? What's the difference? So, Ryan, say you became the NASA administrator tomorrow. Now, how would you do this? No blank check. You have to navigate congressional waters and political winds on top of that water. Now, what's your solution?
You keep going with what you got. Honestly speaking, there really isn't anything you can do with the current Congress and the current administration. There is and that's why I said in the past, having Jared as NASA administrator would have been nice, but he wouldn't have been able to do anything. He wouldn't have been able to get nothing done. With the current Congress and current administration you have, you're not going to change anything. You're not going to be able to get anything done. It's not going to happen. You have the few senators here and there who are willing to do it, but you need most of Congress in order to change stuff, and that's not going to happen. So you keep going what you have. You hope you can try to beat them. If you can't, if you don't beat them back to the moon, then basically what you have is you go, okay, well, we technically have the cards for a little bit better sustainability than they do. I'm not including Gateway. Gateway's not in there because Gateway's too small. They need like something triple the size of that thing. If you really wanted something like that, but you're talking about a vehicle in Starship that once it actually truly gets going. Same thing with New Glenn. You've got vehicles that are incredibly capable and reusable to be able to do stuff. So just keep going. Unfortunately, but it's kind of where we're at.
I think the interesting thing is that I think that that's what Jim was trying to say. Sawyer, would you agree? I'm pretty sure he said, like, given our current scenario, like, no one's gonna make a move. Nobody wants to be like, oh, your program's thrown out the window to get to the moon faster. You know, like the whole point of this, guys, and where I was trying to steer this conversation is to think why would Jim say that the Gateway is your solution to landing on the moon? A space station is your solution to landing on the moon. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know, that if you look at it at face value, it's a little right? But if you kind of think about it for a second, you know, with the state of the union, I guess we'll call it, you know, staying the course might be the right move. You know, Sawyer, what do you think? You think Jim's right? We should stay the course?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of changing things up and scrapping it, been there, done that. We destroyed the T-shirt and all of the amazing architecture that came with it, and then tried to Frankenstein it into something that's now SLS.
Yeah.
So, yeah, did that already during the Obama administration when they decided to cancel Constellation. Let's not do that again.
Biggest political misstep since canceling Apollo, in my opinion. Just that set us back. We're still dealing with these are the consequences of canceling Constellation. As much as people don't want to hear that.
It is the ghost of Ares 1 past coming back to haunt us. Ooh.
Yeah, you should have never gotten rid of it because it was awesome.
I'm an ugly rocket. I'm gonna haunt you. Anyway,
all rockets are beautiful, Sawyer.
In their own way. Yeah, that's like saying, oh, your baby is beautiful, when you then go home and go, that is the ugliest baby I've ever seen. Come on. We're all thinking it.
Come on.
You never say it out loud to most kids. Oh, your child's adorable. But when you go home and you're talking to someone else, like, oh my gosh, you see how ugly that kid is? Anyway.
That's the best argument for being against Ares 1 I've ever heard. I'm not even kidding. That's pretty funny. Oh my goodness.
Hey guys, since Ryan brought up Jared, I just want to bring up a post that Jared posted about 3 hours ago, because I'm interested in your comments on this. Why is Jared in Washington still?
Yeah, that's definitely curious. I'm not sure.
I mean, Dave Limp, I think, was also there was an event today, right?
Yeah, there were a lot of tech leaders there. It was a tech thing or whatever.
Yeah, in terms of space stuff, Dave Limp was there, obviously. We had Jared Isaacman that was there. Trying to remember who else from the spaceflight side of things.
Is that Bill Gates?
It kind of looks like him.
Yeah. I mean, okay, that was that tech summit thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kevin, it's very interesting that he's still around, and it's very interesting that he's hanging out with the president. That's
I don't know.
Should we read into this, or Chat? What do you think?
I'm not going to read into this. That's
No?
just me. Nope. I'm not going to go there because if I go there, I don't want to go there. We'll put it that way. Not on here.
If I say something, I get in trouble. I say not.
Right? It's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that boat too.
That's where I'm at with that. But anyway,
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, you're going to have the spaceflight people out there lobbying, and I mean, everyone's going to want their rocket to do the thing. It's plain and simple. That's why there's competition. That's why there are so many rocket companies that are up and coming now. Every 5 minutes, it sounds like there's another rocket company that's been born. But I mean, that's why you hear about it, but that's also why you see the ones that stand out, the ones that continually hear their names again. That's why you always hear when we're talking about Lunar Conversation, we're talking about New Glenn, Blue Origin. We're talking about Starship, SpaceX. We're talking about SLS, NASA. We're talking about Europe with the EUS and things like that. There are other smaller companies that are great at other markets. You know, the small launch market, obviously there's, you know, you've got Firefly, you've got Rocket Lab, you've got these companies. That's one thing. This, when you hear about the lunar architecture, there's only a few names that really keep popping up, and there's, I think, a reason for that. And that's also why you see Jared, who has been a proponent for SpaceX, and Dave Limp, who was obviously with Blue Origin, there.
Did I see Tim Apple there too?
Yeah.
What?
There. There's.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
But to your original question that you asked me, actually, EJ.
Yeah.
About space stations, about Gateway. Is that really the solution? I mean, it gives us a reason to go out there at this point rather than just, yay, beat China. It's something to do without having to deal with all the extra architecture of the landing. Because we're talking about all of this refueling that's needed to get humans back to the surface of the moon. If we want to just say we're back to the moon, you got a space station there. You have someone hang out there 3-4 weeks, send them back. Boom. It's not as much effort. It's not as much refueling because you're not talking about going all the way down to the surface and up and back. So I think it's a good stepping stone. It's a good way to get the architecture worked out. So I'm not against, as much as I'm not a fan of Gateway, I get where Jim's coming from, and I'm not totally against that of, hey, let's get the architecture out there. Let's get to the moon. Let's say we've made it to the moon, and that will kind of push the rest of it to get to the actual surface part.
Yeah. See, Jim's always been calculated in what he says. So at face value, I was listening to him and I'm like, dude, what are you saying? Please stop. What do you do? But then you sit there and you kind of think about it. You're like, oh, okay, I see what he's getting at. Now, fellas, I don't mean this to be like EJ asked the panel, and I am paying attention to chat. I'm kind of basing my questions off what the questions that I'm seeing over there. This has got a little bit of a untraditional way of doing questions with chat. But so, guys, I have another question, and you know, Ryan, I'll put this one to you. Do you think if China beats the U.S. back to the moon, despite us, you know, basically laying the groundwork for building a much greater presence out there eventually, right? Do you think that could? Do you think the politicians would be like, no, look at it, we lost. Here, have a blank check. Get back to the moon. We got to beat them. Do you think that could end up being good for NASA if they lose? Good for the space program? Do you think?
All I would say is, what if for all mankind?
Mm-hmm. That's right? A good answer.
Right?
Right?
Like, oh, NASA... spoilers, I guess. It's a couple of years old at this point, but, you know, like, NASA loses the moon to the Soviets, and then they basically had somewhat of a blank check to NASA, and then all of a sudden we're putting a moon base and all this other stuff, and if that's what it takes to get NASA a blank check, fine. We'll lose the second race. We won the first one. We already made it there. We're the only country on Earth that put the humans on there. And to be honest with you, I don't really care if it's a country that wins or loses it. I'm not really of that mind. It's whatever to me. It's like, okay, let's if China makes it there, okay, let's also make it there. And if NASA then gets a blank check to get there and build a bigger presence there, and then humanity as a whole builds a presence on the moon, I'm all for that. Let's do it. 100%.
Sawyer? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sawyer, do you think that could be the China landing on the moon could be the catalyst to get NASA out of this funk that it's been in for like the last, let's say, 30 years, give or take?
First off, no guns on the moon, no duct tape spacesuits.
They did it in The Martian.
If you watch For All Mankind, I won't spoil any more than that. I'll just say those. But I mean, Ryan, I'm with you. The first thing that came to my mind with all of this whole conversation of we have to beat China was For All Mankind, where you're not spoiling anything. The premise is NASA loses the race to the moon. This was back in the 60s, though. If NASA was second to the moon and not first, if the Soviets had done it, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually get that real life scenario coming up if China does end up beating us to the moon. I think you're right. I think that is the real kick in the pants here that they need. That's a way to say, well, now what? We lost. How are we going to redeem ourselves? Now we kick it into gear. Now we build the biggest base, a great base, the best base that any base has ever based. And then I know it's a based opinion. And then and then the station and all of that. But I mean, I feel like that is the way to that's the way to do it. I don't want it to be that way personally. I don't want it to be that way. I want us all to make it to the moon and have our bases and do joint science, but in this case, yeah.
Hey,
I mean, Ryan, go ahead.
Maybe that then has NASA far more involved with SpaceX to make it to Mars and build a whole colony on Mars first, and we get more of a push to that. I mean, SpaceX is going to Mars whether NASA is, depending on how much NASA is behind it or not. I mean, they're going to go there. That's going to happen. Period. But if NASA then backs them up with other stuff, I mean, I'm not opposed to that in any way, shape, or form. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean, dude. Like, the big gist of what we got from that meeting, that Senate meeting the other day was it yesterday? I don't know what day it is. It's Friday, right? Yeah, it's Flame Church. Yes, okay, it's Friday.
Only reason I know what day it is too.
Yeah, right. That's bad. That's bad. We need to get some sleep, man.
What's that?
I know what you mean. Anyway, the whole, it's very clear that the politicians know that there are geopolitical implications for not for China beating the United States back to the moon, right? Or for them doing their first lunar landing before we go back, right? There's huge geopolitical implications. Now, I mean, they know, but how much do they know? Do you really know the implications there? Like, I don't know. Like, are you going to follow through with this? We'll see, right? Like, but look, like, it's not necessarily bad if they do their first landing and we're not there, because then they might be like, no, it's like, oh no, spend more money on NASA. Oh no, that sucks. Jeez, fellas, they really showed us.
Hey, EJ, Roseanne DeVasto says in chat, imagine how beneficial a summit agreement with the private companies and explorers would be, each focusing on their particular niche. It seems like we don't have the whole plan, right? If we're going to have a base on the moon, a colony on Mars, like the whole plan's not there. We need more than just SpaceX. We need more than just Blue. We need, I think it was Jared who said it. We need the world to be behind this. I know I'm taking it away from the conversation of does China beat us, but
That's
could China be cooperative too? Could we be cooperative with China? We need the world. We need the world. This is about humanity, not about United States versus China. I'm done.
For all mankind.
I don't think cooperation is gonna happen.
I don't think it's going to happen. As much as I would love it, I would love the cooperation of every space agency in the world, every country in the world to get to the moon, Mars, and colonize the solar system, and we develop warp drive and go to other planets. Boy, I would love that, but that's all rosy, and this isn't Star Trek, so
The fact that we have 2 separate space stations, and there is literally a thing in Congress that says NASA cannot work with China under any circumstances. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, especially if, and I think most importantly, if China does get to the moon first. I don't think that's going to be a olive branch. I think that's going to be the arrows in the hands of the eagle instead of the olive branch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I'd like to remind everybody that, just in case we were like, why don't we work with them? Why do Intelsat 708? Read about that. That's the reason why we don't work with China. Just if you're very curious, Intelsat 708. It didn't end well. It ended very poorly. Just go look that up. We a little bit of background reading for you, chat. Anyway, it's a good conversation, dudes. Good conversation. A good one. I think we can do it. I think it's just a question. I think we could get there before the end of the decade, because China's plans is basically to get there by 2030. I think we could do that, and I think we could do that with our current architecture. I think it's just really, we're like, it's American football season again. So, we could start talking about that. Sorry, I'm not talking about the Jets. I'm sorry. Anyway,
no one talks about them. It's fine.
Wait. We got breaking news. Oh, Booster 15.2. Yo, let's go. But anyways, Kevin didn't want me talking about football.
Thanks, especially the Jets.
The last.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the last Block 1/2 that's going to fly. This is going to be where there's a. I mean, are we just going to skip the Starship at this rate then? We just want to.
I got stuff that I would want to talk about, but the gist of what I was trying to say is that it's basically 3rd and 1, and we can get that dang first down. It's just we got to run the right play to do it. That's the gist of what I was going to do. And if you don't understand American hand egg, that made no sense. Okay, so there you go. Sorry, you got it though.
The real football.
Yeah, the real.
I'm
football.
about to get chat very
use the tush
angry.
push to get there? What?
yeah, dude. That is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
We need to do. We need Jim to do the tush push, or Jared to do the tush push with. This is weird. Okay, cool. 15.2. Yeah.
Out of context,
nice.
That is. Yeah.
This says helmet ball.
But the helmet never touches the ball. At least the foot occasionally touches the ball, right?
The helmet touched the ball once in one game that I watched, and I did not like the results.
I loved that. It was the Super Bowl.
Oh, man.
As a New Yorker, I will support the Giants in the Super Bowl, especially when it's against the Patriots. As a Jets fan, the helmet catch. The helmet catch. I still remember it.
Hey, how many Super Bowls you got? Yeah, that's what I thought.
We got one.
Hey, Joe Namath was a statistical anomaly, okay?
The Jets are a statistical anomaly in that they suck. But anyway.
All right.
Still root for them.
All right. Hey, that's true faith in your team right there. We gotta have that kind of faith with NASA to do the tush push and not the butt fumble, right, Sawyer?
Thanks. Thanks for bringing that up. And yes, anyone who is just getting in here with football is so confused. What do you mean, who doesn't understand football? Tush push and butt fumble. It's safe to say the Jets are usually the butt of most jokes. So
I got you to pun. in a negative connotation about your football team. I would call this a success. I see this as an absolute win. Okay.
Speaking of win, do we have anyone who's winning in the? What the heck was that transition gonna be?
That was.
I'm having a
know
rough
you were
day
trying to
today,
go
guys.
with that,
No, I'm
but
not all right.
That was not.
I'm not all right. I've been having a rough day, guys. In case you can't tell, I'm sorry, but
Dude, I got lucky. I got second win, man. I got lucky.
I did have someone say that they liked that I'm a lot more unfiltered today, and thank you. Unlikely, I think. I think that's a good thing. I don't know.
Hey, it pays to be real, man. It pays to be real. That's all I'm saying. It's one ugly baby, dude.
JS Webb, can we move on? No, I was born into a household as a Jets fan. I have no choice. It's been 31 years and I can't move on. I have no choice. Help!
All right. Enough football. All right. So, you know what, Ryan? Let's go to Starship. 15.2 is rolling out. Tell us about it. Let's go.
Okay, so the last block 1/2 that's gonna fly. I call it 1/2 because SpaceX level just basically changed the name on it. That's basically all they did. 38 will be the last block 2 ship to fly. It's currently in Megabay 2. We currently have a testing closure for Sunday. Sunday morning, in fact, it's 5 a.m. to noon, and it's supposed to roll out in a couple hours. So yeah, it's kind of, I guess it'd be a little bittersweet to see this version of booster go. And it'll be the last booster static fire on Pad A too. That's going to be it is the end of an era for this program, to say the least. If you want basically a nice recap of the last 10 flights, I'm gonna basically plug something I did. I wrote a 2,000 some odd word article over the last 10 flights of Starship. You know, everything that happened, failures, what they did to fix things. It's definitely been a journey for this program to get to this point. And we're probably 4 weeks away or less from Flight 11. I wouldn't be surprised if it's early October, mid-October. But yeah, it's kind of, it's fun. It'll be the last time we see one of the last times we see one of these boosters roll out of the Mega Bay. It should be one more time for booster 15. Then it'll come back, get a touch stage ring, go back out. 12 will leave eventually, and 17 will go in to get scrapped. So after that, it's block 3 boosters.
So just to bring people up to speed, they scrapped 17 because of block 3 boosters. What are they doing with 12?
12 is going to get saved. They brought it into the bay almost a month ago at this point, or even more than that. I'd have to look up the date. But at this point, they are definitely going to convert it into a display. I don't know where they're displaying it, or in what fashion, or on what kind of stand. I have not seen a specific stand get built for it, but it's definitely going to be saved. So, unlike SN15, which apparently is still in the rocket,
I was waiting for it.
There we go. Very technical update.
They are saving 12, which is good. My guess is it'll get put on display like B1019 over in Hawthorne, which I am incredibly happy for. That'll be cool to see that booster saved. Yeah.
Ryan, I have a quick question, but I got to go through some support before I do it. The support queue is getting big, and you guys know how I feel about that. I can't have a big support queue. It's just a box. I have to empty the box. Like, it's just like
family friendly.
I'm talking about the support queue box, man. The tip jar. Jeez.
Yeah, about it getting bigger. Anyway, go ahead. What do we got?
Man, unfiltered Sawyer is a trip. This is great.
That's a word for it.
Roseanne DeBasto, $10 super chat. Have to say, thanks for the discussions about the future. Yeah, I like theory crafting out the architecture because it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. It's fun to play Kerbal with your rockets. You know what I mean? I think just in case anybody's wondering, like we know that it's not just going to be like, oh, let's just put this stage on this rocket and this stage on this. That's not really how that works. But with the right will, it could. Anyway, so we got Jim Yoder saying Sawyer is the best host. I like Unhinged Sawyer. It's amazing. You're absolutely right, Jim. It's fantastic.
This is dangerous, folks. The longer it goes on, the worse it gets.
We got Drunar with $10 Canadian. Question: SpaceX, Blue Origin, Intuitive, Rocket Lab all have interplanetary architecture in progress, with or without NASA contracts. Boeing ULA have a horse in this race? Gateway equals an 8-year-old concept. Yeah, that's a good point. Ryan, do you know if Boeing has anything like that to go beyond low Earth orbit, or ULA for that matter?
I think other than the SLS, Boeing doesn't really have anything in the space thing. I mean, you have Starliner, but it's Starliner.
What about X-37? Do you think we get that to the moon?
That'd be cool if X-37 could make it to the moon. That'd be kind of cool.
I'd be pretty hype on that. I'm not gonna lie.
That'd be pretty cool. But I mean, as far as I know, Boeing has no extra plans for anything along those lines. Neither does ULA. ULA basically has Vulcan and Atlas, and that's pretty much it.
Starliner to the moon. Telling it right now. There you go. Calling it. Starliner to the moon. Can it make it to space? Barely. Can it make it back from the ISS safely? Barely. But it's going to the moon.
Diamond hands.
Let's do
Diamond hands. I mean, if you know what the messed up part is, dude. If Boeing was like, yes, we're gonna put Starliner on top of SLS and send it somewhere, we're gonna put it on some rocket that can get it out there, I'd be like, yeah, dude, heck yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go. Like, all right. All right. Roseanne Devasto again, $20 super chat. Not the world, just the United States. That was in regards to beating China. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see my home country's flags up there more, but I want to see other countries' flags up there. The more people, the merrier. I mean, for better or for worse, as discussed, right? Like, okay, we got Zor, the graphics guy, $10 super chat. Why not use Falcon to lift experiments to develop refueling in space?
Ooh!
Oh, what do we got? What do we got?
We have a Block
Look at
3 hot
It's got a
staging
hole
test
in it.
article.
Oh, hot stage ring.
And well, that's the grid fin, and I think there should be a cavity. It should have been, the cavity I think is installed on all 3 of these sides. This is B18.3 test tank. This is for them to test their new integrated hot stage design, which it's definitely still a test tank because I haven't seen anything. There you go. I haven't seen anything new on the dome to indicate it's I'm still curious what they're going to put on top of that dome for like heat ablation and whatnot. That'll be interesting when they do that. But yeah, man, only.
I mean, actually, Zor, the graphics guy, $10 super chat asking why not use Falcon to lift experiments to develop refueling in space. You know what? I think that ship sailed. I think what you see on the screen is your experiments for refueling in space, not necessarily 18.3.
Yeah,
but I think they're going to use Starship, right, Ryan? You use just at this point, you might as well use Starship. The time to do refueling stuff with Falcon would have been like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and not only that, you're not going to be able to do any kind of large scale refueling tests with Falcon. SpaceX is talking about moving almost 100 to 150 tons when you between a tanker and a depot, or between 2 tankers, or when you dock a ship to a depot, you're looking to transfer almost 1,500 metric tons of propellant in one go. You might be able to test subscale stuff with Falcon, but at this point, just test it with Starship. You're already there at this point.
Yeah, baby. We got Phil with a £5 sterling super chat saying it's handball. Real football is played in England and in the EU. Hey, we play that over here too. We just call it soccer.
Also, guess who's playing in the EU this year? The New York Jets. My misery continues, waking up at 9 a.m. Eastern to watch my team likely lose over in Germany.
Hey, at least you get it out of the way, man. It's like me being a Ferrari fan. I wake up at 6 a.m. to watch them double DNF. It's fantastic. That's great. That's what I wanted to. That's how I want to start my Sunday. you know. But now I have the rest of the day. I mean, I could shut the race off early. It's great.
I mean, yeah, true. It's, game's over by third quarter usually, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're good, man. Everything's good. All right. We have Drisbane with a $5 super chat. Still remember the new star on the Jets, spelling it Jete, Jets.
Yeah, for those who don't know, there's a full chant, Jets, 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 and yes, there's hand motions that go with it. I'm sorry, I was tortured as a child in sports. I had a loving childhood. I was never physically tortured. I was just sports tortured. Still am.
All right,
Well,
Telstar 86 with a £5 super chat. The only Super Bowl I care about is the one where they saved a dolphin for the halftime show. You know. All right.
Maybe,
all right.
all right. Maybe if there's enough support, I'll consider showing. I posted something in the back channel. It is me as a Jets fan at 1 year old. So
There you go.
if chat's interested, maybe I'll be willing to show it. We need like one of those gold things. Instead of Jack singing, it's Baby Sawyer as a Jets fan. I don't know if that's how those work, but
So-
Yeah,
anyway.
we can do that. If we get this amount of likes, wait, how do we measure that?
I don't know. That's
Just hit
a
the thumbs
Kevin
up
question.
button. We're done.
Kevin!
All right.
Oh.
Anyway, Drew Nar with a $2 super chat. Static Fire Booster 17 to send the OLM into oblivion. I don't hate that idea, but I think I want to save the tower.
There's a Baby Sawyer pick goal.
Do you want, I mean, it is a quick, do you want my idea for taking the OLM out? It's completely overkill and it would look amazing, but it would also take the tower with it. But it's my demo idea for the OLM. If you want to
All
hear
right,
it.
what do you got?
All right. Drill under the plate. Okay. Dig under the plate. Place about 10 to 20,000 pounds of ANFO under it. Then you place explosives along the transverse supports of the OLM ring. Put shape charges on the tower base because, I mean, it's already going to take the tower out anyways. Might as well do that. So you set the tower to collapse into the wetlands. You blow it under the plate and use the water deluge plate as a pusher to knock the OLM ring into the air and fling it.
So you want a manhole cover the OLM ring?
Yes. You like it?
Little unhinged, but I kind of like it. That'd be kind of cool.
Unhinged is the word for this particular flame trench. It's fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that will inadvertently make a flame trench. It'll make a hole in the ground.
They gotta get rid of that 4 meter thick foundation one way or the other.
We got Jeff Rowe with gifted membership, gifted one red team membership. Thank you. And then Kemiel Kengan with €5 or €6 super chat. Baby Sawyer.
Yes. Do.
All right.
I
Thank
won't
you
say
for all the
more than
support,
that out
guys.
of risk of, copyright stuff, but
Yeah, no,
you get where I'm going.
They'll get mad at you.
It's funny because it sounds like baby shark. It's funny when you explain it.
Yeah, no, explaining the joke surely makes it funnier, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
I gotta say this. Just looking at what's on screen, I kind of envy those Giga Bay Foundation workers right now. They just get to stand right next to this testing.
Pretty cool, man.
And there's only one dome in it right now. My guess is they're going to add a dome below, and it'll make it around 11 rings tall, which will basically be B14.1 again. My expectation is that they will make it that tall, and then they'll go ahead and stick it in the torture chamber. What I call it, the really advanced can crusher test stand.
Can crusher, yeah.
Well, it does more than just crush it, but it does a lot. It twists it, pulls it, does a whole bunch of stuff to it. But I figure they'll do that. Can
we call it Bop It? Because it twists it, pulls it, and bops the stage.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
calling
glad you're
it
talking
that
about
from
the
now
original,
on.
not the flick it, the spin it, the
Yeah.
whatever, the throw it in the air. I don't know.
But
I'm calling it the Bop It test stand now.
there you go.
So
And-
that's what's happening, man.
And then, depending on what they put on the bottom, which I think will be a booster, a makeshift boost Block 3 booster aft, I think, and this is just a theory, I think they will put it because basically they left the cavities open, so in theory they could install a grid fin in there. I think what they'll do is they'll make it tall enough with 11 rings that you can then stick it on pad B, put a grid fin or two on it, and do some slap testing. Maybe not
Yeah.
much, but we'll see. It's a maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's rolling. We are going to see very, very soon. So, okay, let's now that I got through the support, Ryan, you primed us on Starship. Okay, give us a little bit of a primer. Now, okay, fellas, I got a weird question. Right, this is another weird EJ question. Right, here we go. Let's do this. All right. Do you guys think that so they're moving 15.2? We saw the road closures on the Starbase website. They're moving that thing to the pad. It's going to the pad. Now, what are we going to do? What do you think they're going to do? RE ship 38, Ryan. Are they going to fire that booster, reconfigure the pad for ship testing with the the hot rodded transport stand plate, static fire 38, and then take it apart, reconfigure it back, then bring the booster back out?
Then launch?
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Massey's isn't
think so?
ready. Massey's is still a couple months away. People don't realize exactly what 36 did to it, and it also gave them a opportunity to redesign a few things for Massey's. They are redoing the entire electrical system. It's still running off generators. The last I checked, they still don't have power to the mains. And they're building a whole new fluids bunker for the pad. I mean, it's going to be a while before that static fire pad is in any sort of operation. They still don't even they haven't even started building a gantry yet in place to replace the one that got mangled from Ship 36's explosion. So 38 will get tested on pad A as well. They saved everything for the ship umbilical connector they had. And they also, of course, saved the stand. It's currently sitting in Sanchez over where they built the Pad B OLM, is where it's sitting right now. So that'll get rolled out once they're done with 15. They'll do the mods. They'll do 38's testing. Probably leave it up to make sure 38's good to go this time, rather than try to take it apart right away. Once they have verified 38 is good to go, or unless they need to do more with 38, then they'll reconvert it back and fly Flight 11 as quick as they can. And then after that, bye-bye Pad A, or at least in its current configuration.
Okay, here's my crazy question. I wanted you to break it down. Here's the crazy question. You think they'll just send it with 38? You think they'll just put that booster out there, static fire it, put the hot ring on, send it with 38, or do you think they will reconfigure for another static fire?
No, they'll test 38. No, no, you don't. If you don't test that and you run into a problem at staging and you lose that entire vehicle, that's a mishap investigation you then have to do. It's if you test it, make sure it's good, and then you get 38 all the way to the Indian Ocean again, and this time it's survives a little bit better, or you can do some other heat shield experiments on it. You make sure that you get that thing to SECO again. The morale, I can only imagine what the morale was at SpaceX losing that many ships in a row. I mean, I personally would be down working. You work on it and you're constantly losing them. To finally get 37 to work as well as it did, you want to make sure 38 will do the same. You want it to work. Ride that morale high straight into Block 3 and your new pad design and everything else. You test it right. Just test it. What rush are you in to launch it? To be honest, the only rush is how quickly do you want to start dismantling that pad? That's the rush you're in, basically.
Cool. Okay, so they're going to take their time. You're going to get that to Seco. Do you think, Sawyer? I'm gonna ping this one off you here. Do you think that this is going to be a repeat of Flight 10? You think they're going to do the exact same thing, or do you think we'll see anything different? You think we'll see some orbital action here? Think maybe we'll see different TPS tests? Like, what do you think about this?
I mean, I'm sure they may do a couple different TPS testing. Maybe they slightly change the angle at which they re-enter, because again, they've really tried to push this one to its limit. I'm sure there's going to be some things that they saw on that flight, now that they finally have heat shield data in the proper orientation, about time, that they may want to actually, you know, make small tweaks and changes. Obviously, they're not going to make any huge changes, because, you know, version 3 is coming up, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tweak the trajectory, maybe adjust some of the tiles, maybe add or remove some of those metal tiles, given the beautiful orange glow that we got as a result. I think there's going to be minute tweaks, but don't expect anything groundbreaking until V3. Although, then again, if there is a pad fallback, then that would be groundbreaking, but we don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe after, right? Like, maybe after we want to break the ground around the pad. That's actually a question from Wolf 480 in chat. Ryan, this one's for you. Hypothetically, what would happen if Ship 38 wanted to explode, like happened to explode on Pad 1? Could it damage infrastructure for Pad 2?
I mean, it depends on where the shrapnel would go. The only thing at real risk would be the tanks themselves, or maybe some of the lines getting a little bit burnt. But if it exploded like that, SpaceX could just fire off the deluge and snuff out any flames that were near it. I mean, that's the funny part about that. Yeah. And the funny thing is, if 38 did explode, I mean, then they have to scrap booster 15 because it has nothing to fly. There's no vehicle to fly with it. And if you think that they would try to get a Block 3 ship to fly with it, that's pointless. That would require a modification to the ship QD. It would require modifications to the booster hot stage ring to also deal with Raptor 3s. And not only that, like the Block 3 ship isn't anywhere close. So if 38 did happen to explode, I mean, we wouldn't have any launches until probably like March, April.
But then you could have both booster and ship 15 in the rocket garden.
Yeah.
Hey. The big rocket garden in the sky, right? Right?
Yeah, that, yeah.
Right?
At that rate, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I have let's see. The support queue went off. We're running out of time, so I'm gonna pop through this. And I know you guys are tired, Ryan. I know you have a hard out because you have to go do work. Unlike us, just sit here and sleep. Wait, what?
We do not. What is this word sleep? I still don't know what it means.
Okay. So, Aramil Lorathane with a 2-pound super chat. Baby Sawyer fun. Oh, they're going to hit that goal, Sawyer. We're going to see you in that Jets cap.
Oh, yeah. 8 out of 10? Oh, jeez. I didn't think it actually get that high yet.
Right? We got Jim Yoder becoming a Capcom member right there. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate you, man. GSC Hydro. Considering the new catch pins for the new boosters will be a part of the grid fins, are you concerned that one of the grid fins on the last flight seemed to fail to return to a catch position? Oh, that's a good question. Ryan, I'm teeing this one up for you because, yeah, one of the grid fins seems to have gotten stuck. I don't know if SpaceX did that on purpose on the Flight 10 Super Heavy test landing. But, yeah, that's an interesting question. Ryan, what do you think?
It is interesting. It is probably one of the issues with putting it on the grid fin, that if all of a sudden if a grid fin gets locked, you're in a bit of a pickle, to say the least, because then you can't really catch the booster at that point. That would probably end up being an aborted catch, and then they divert. So the hope would be that it doesn't lock. But the other part about that is SpaceX never told us they were doing that with that grid fin. So I don't believe it was on purpose. But then again, they do stuff they don't tell us about too. So who knows? honestly.
Yep. Chat, we hit our goal. Kevin, do you have that picture?
How did we? Wow.
We hit our goal. Post the picture.
I put it in the back channel.
Breaking news. Yes.
There it
There's
is.
my guy. His Jets hat.
I just put it in the back channel anyway, just because we were talking about it. And now it's like, oh, here it is on stream. I told you I was doomed from a young age. I think I was probably about a year old in this photo, maybe a little older. But
Awesome.
yeah, that's me and my dad with the old, which is now back to the current Jets logo on the hats, actually.
I do like the old Jets logo, man.
Which is
better.
Good.
I mean, that's the new one now. But yeah, there it is. Jets, Jets. I was doomed from the beginning. Still doomed to this day at this rate.
I have to ask Chris B if he's out there in Chris B land. Is Leeds a better football team than the Jets?
Are you happy, chat? Are you happy?
I'm happy.
You don't have any photos of you, EJ, as a young Patriots fan, do you?
No. I don't think so. I'd have to go find them. I mean, you guys got to remember when in my formative years, the Patriots were like they are now. They were very, very not good. When I was but a wee lad, they were also very, very terrible. I mean, that changed in 2001, but.
Also, I appreciate Drew Narset send this photo to Child Protective Services.
Time to stop.
But yeah, my dad was a Jets season ticket holder for 40 years. I joined him for 10 or 12 of those years. And yeah, so it's great moments with my dad. That is my dad that was in the photo, by the way. I now get to take him to rocket launches. He took me to Jet games. I take him to rocket launches now, so it's great.
You don't want to take him to a Jets game? Why not?
Oh, we're going to the Jets Miami game this year. Don't worry.
Oh,
we
right.
Still do. We still do.
Yeah, man. All right.
So.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's not as cool as Starship. You know, Starship usually puts on a better show. Although, then again, Starship and the Jets both know how to blow it. Starship blows up, and then the Jets blow leads.
Blowing leads or anything. I mean, I live in Minnesota. Not a full Vikings fan, because if you follow the Vikings, you'll just have eternal disappointment for it. It's most Minnesota sports teams, but yeah.
I'm glad that Chad is okay with us veering off for just a few minutes to talk about football again. I appreciate that.
We got a baby picture of Sawyer out of it, so is it really that bad?
Depends on your definition of bad there, yeah. And by the way, I do just have to point out when we were talking to Chris Bergen a couple years ago, and he was asking what football team to root for. Someone told him to root for the Jets, and that became his team, and that was the Aaron Rodgers getting injured 5 minutes into the game year. So we made Chris Bergen a suffering Jets fan too by accident.
It's so messed up. Why would you do that to your friend?
Yeah, that was evil. Sorry, Chris.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for everybody that helped meet that goal.
And we appreciate it.
I'm gonna pop through the rest of the support queue. I'm just gonna pop all the baby Sawyer goals up there. Crispy contributed. We got Jim Yoder with baby Sawyer. Oh, yeah. I had to say it different because
Baby Sawyer. Oh.
Crispy's gonna meet this goal today, Junior. Crispy said one for Aaron Goldner, who wants to see Baby Sawyer Jets fan. Right on. Crispy, you're working on it. Thank you very much. I'm gonna flash through these real quick. Clark, baby. Methane Man, Mr. Ford Bronco himself, with the $5 sip. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Eric Fraser here for the baby pick. What's up, Eric? Jim Yoder, another to meet the fund. That's awesome. We got Ninja Decimator with a $5 for the gold. Let's go. Let's go. And then I think oh man, we got I'm just gonna plow through the rest of the support queue. Jim Yoder with 5 red team memberships. Do appreciate that. Red Queen GTA WS6. When you put that super chat through, I started getting Ryan to talk about Massey's because the question is about Massey's. If Ryan answered it for you, I saw it going. I'm like, Ryan, talk to me about Massey's. So I saw it, and I asked the question right when you tipped it through. Also, Pontiac, good stuff. Drew Nar, $2 super chat. If you don't test Ship 38, Mark Watney might die. Yeah, yep. Dude, you know, like the reason why I asked you if they were going to send Ship 38, Ryan, was because people have been asking me all week. Like, I've been streaming over on Twitch. People are like, you think they're going to send? I'm like, I mean, maybe they might. But now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Probably shouldn't do that.
Don't just send it because, like, the whole reason for the static fire is not only to test the engines, but it's also to test everything else that they've done since the cryo. It helps make it flight ready. I mean, eventually it'll all be a condensed test campaign, but it's never a good idea just to send something that holds 1,500 tons of propellant and just go. That's never a good idea, especially if it has an issue on liftoff, like even with the engines not running, say it has an issue on liftoff and explodes and it takes the entire stack with it and it does a pad fallback, and which would damage more than just pad A. It would take out the launch site for a while, which leads to a huge mishap investigation. And there's a whole load of stuff. And then it stops the Starship program for a while. And we don't want that. Test it.
Yeah, that's a good call. Telstar had one. Oh, that was one for the Baby Sawyer fund. Caffeine fund for the NSF crew. Dude, we need it. We need it. It was, this day really messed me up.
Tell we're struggling today.
Yeah, Sawyer too. Sawyer had some challenges too as well.
It's been a long day since 4 a.m.
Yep. All right. Telstar 86 with £2 super chat. Were Sawyer's first words untoken? Yes, I think so.
No, I think they were what were they? Flag. Throw the flag.
That's good. No, don't elaborate on that one. We'll just put that one out to the void. If you got it, good for you. All right. Camille Kengan with €5. Oh my gosh, so cute. Yep. And then Crispy with a $250 tip. Tips.nasaspaceflight.com. Thank you so much. Love you guys and what you do. Still wondering if Webby is going to sing after the topics. Oh, you got called out.
Okay, for reference, we were last night in our Discord. It was just a regular voice chat in the Discord. We basically had. I was just playing Spotify while we were playing games and just listening to music, and it became kind of a karaoke night last night. It was kind of funny, but yeah, I mean, if you. I don't know if I want to sing. That's the thing.
Do it.
Oh, man. We get kicked. We might get copyright struck if I do that.
Just change some of the lyrics up. Can I copy your homework? Yeah, man. Just change some things up. It's fine.
Just make it space themed. Then it's parody.
I am not
then
that
it's legal.
good off the fly to do that. Not even remotely. That would be bad. To change stuff off the fly, I'd have to write it down first.
I mean, yeah, you are a writer. It makes sense. Yeah, he's got a point. You sure you don't want to?
Now I'm crying in the Indian Ocean. Ah. Starship is in trouble.
See, I'm not that creative. That was.
Oh, Ship 36 blew up. No.
Oh, my God. Because there's the pause.
Oh, my God.
Can we remix like an auto-tune Jack saying Ship 36 just blew up to that melody? Can we do that? Is that doable? Sound people. Can we do
Ship 36 just blew
you mean
up.
like the
yeah.
So
The
about those
goat- what,
launch
the goat-
dates.
The goat screaming one? That one? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
that.
need to throw that in there too for the fun.
So
Oh,
about
great.
those
goodness.
launch dates. Yeah.
So about those launch dates. Yes. This is diabolical. I love it.
Oh,
Or
man, that's-
Adele, can they static fire in the rain instead of set fire to the rain? You wanted Webby singing, you got me singing and baby pictures.
Oh,
Chris
man.
Bergen in the back channel wanted me to do Billy Joel, but, you know. Everybody's talking about the news, sound funny, but it's still Space Shuttle to everyone in Florida. Every rocket is Space Shuttle in Florida.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which, speaking
that's
of,
true.
Shuttle Sunday returns this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on Space Coast Live.
Can we show the Max Pog face for that announcement again? Just because I want to see it. I want to put it up on the stream.
And that is likely that could be right after a static fire of Booster 15 too.
Oh, that better not delay Shuttle Sunday. No,
If
we've
the
waited
closure
for
only
it.
goes to noon
Please.
that day. Oh, well, I mean, they can always extend it, but it goes to noon.
Don't say that. Might be loving Shuttle.
The fact that it's on the transport stand and it's going to roll out tonight, and it looks like it's going to roll out tonight, they should be ready to go and they should static fire it by Sunday. Shouldn't have any issues with that.
Honestly, it's been so long, I forget what mission we're covering this weekend. I'm trying to remember. What was the last Shuttle Sunday that we did?
I don't remember.
And then we have a
Started-
playlist. I
Started
know.
with STS.
Really? It
No.
did? Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, here's the playlist. Thank you, whoever used the shuttle command. Last one was STS 34, I think, if that's correct. So, yeah. So that means the next one, I think we get into, is it more DoD stuff with STS 33? Yeah. So I think we'll be doing a couple because we get more DoD fun. Either way, you'll have to tune in to find out and talk about the exciting stuff.
Yep.
Am I
Good stuff.
selling this well? Am I selling this well, socials team? You can also follow on the socials and we'll notify you when it happens. I don't know.
Somewhere, LSR just cracked a smile. He's like,
What rails today? We are all way off the. Hey, speaking of the socials, there they are. At least 3 of the 6. So yeah.
Hey guys,
there's LSR in the back channel.
I gotta
Evan?
show you something. I gotta show you something.
What's up?
We have a really talented community.
Oh no.
Did you know that?
Yes, we do.
Now
do.
I'm scared at how talented they are.
I'm not.
Well, it's not the usual Space Pope, but it's a different Space Pope. So Doss sent the Space Pope a picture of CP11 because we all love CP11,
Mhm.
right? Well, here's what Space Pope did with that. So Space Pope mocked it up.
What the?
Okay.
Mhm.
This is amazing.
Right? But you want to know what's
Yeah.
even cooler?
Do you make it fall down like during launch? Oh,
Space Pope 3D printed a CP11.
you can no
Can-
longer say
can-
I have no cameras. You have a 3D printed camera.
Kevin, can you put that picture of Max making the pog face like back on the stream so I can convey my emotions correctly right now?
Yes, here.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank
I
you.
love you had that on standby still.
Yes, that's great. Sorry, I don't mean to backseat produce, but also I'm not gonna not put this picture up on a flame trench if I can help it. Hi, Max. I'm
Bob.
hosting Starlink
I mean,
with you.
CP11 is a legendary camera. It's very legendary. It's done a lot. I mean, heck, it's giving us the views of the new hot staging ring right now, and a hot staging article. So yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, do we want to look at Starbase? Is there?
I was just
You're the
just
producer.
saying
You do it.
that
I'm not going to tell you.
Just saying, thanks to CP11, we have this view. That's what I was saying.
we
And
love
we also
CP11.
got
Yeah.
a shot of a nice F-150 there, boy. I tell you what.
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
Huh? What?
What? No, nothing. Dude, I got my tank watching hat on. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
NSF trucker tank watcher hat. It's a Richardson. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it's shop.nasaspaceflight.com. It's great.
Yeah.
Seriously though.
Your trucker.
Wait,
Like,
it's keying out.
okay.
I think it keyed out the Texas
Yeah,
Tank
it keyed out a little bit, but I'm not like super big on like plugging merch, but this is a Richardson hat. These hats are amazing. They're really good. Really, really, really nice hats. I have a lot of Richardsons. They're very good. Very good. So you can get an NSF Richardson hat. Richardson trucker cap. Pretty good.
By the way,
Yeah,
Space
funny.
Pope says that the tripod works too.
Ooh.
Wait, really?
Per Space Pope in chat, the tripod works too.
That's amazing.
Huh.
Now it needs.
Probably
Is it a real
I
camera?
need that for the cape. I need a better tripod then.
Oh, it does. Space Pope sent me pictures of the tripod. I'll download those really quick. Hold on. Like the tripod closed up and.
A reminder, coming up in about 15-ish minutes is the real news. The one where people actually talk about the news of what's happened in spaceflight this week. You might even call it This Week in Spaceflight. As opposed to whatever this has become today.
Yeah, but you won't get baby
unhinged-
pictures on Twist. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, to say this has been one of the more unhinged one is probably an understatement.
Well, it does have hinges.
Oh,
Dude, that's actually really cool. That's actually pretty awesome. A little
the
baby
question
tripod.
is, does CP11 pan up, pan down, pan left, pan right, pan twist, pan forward, pan back?
It doesn't because that's not a thing. So just saying.
Somewhere
How
out
to
there,
anger camera operators and producers in one sentence.
Jack. Yeah, he was just like. He probably made that noise too.
But does it actually pan, tilt, and roll and all of that, or? That's unbelievable.
It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's see here. What other questions did I have? Oh, I had a good question about Starlinks and payloads. And this is kind of a general discussion question. Do you guys think they're going to put a real V3 on Ship 38? Because we did see them unload those dumb links from the Starlink dispenser. Any thoughts here? Who wants this one? Ryan? Yeah?
And you're just making sure you're unmuted, by the way, so that the chat
I
can hear
am
you.
unmuted across the board, guys.
I was definitely talking while muted. Right at the end. Right at the end. Had to do it once.
It's all right. It's unhinged. We're good. You're good. Go for it, Ryan.
I was muted because I didn't want you to hear my keyboard strokes because I had just remembered to order one of those hats, so we'll just put it that way.
The truth comes out.
Subtle.
All right.
Very subtle.
I think it's a maybe. It depends on if they're willing to just chuck away a couple of actual V3 sats and not dumb links. Because obviously 38's not going to go to orbit. Unless they do some weird thing where they go to orbit, then do a deorbit burn and still try to land in the Indian Ocean or in Hawaii, because they, in theory, could. Although to land in Hawaii, they would need a license modification to do that. The easiest, quickest way to launch would be they could do Starlinks that aren't turned on at all, because you also need an FCC license if they're going to, communicate back and forth. I don't think they have one for Starlink V3 yet, at least not for that. So you need an FCC license for it. Maybe not. Probably not. As much as I want it.
No. I was gonna say, I really, Sawyer, are you familiar with STS-51? Not
Remind me
51A.
which mission that was?
Okay, so it was a mission that deployed a SPAS, a shuttle pallet, right?
Yeah.
And a shuttle, what a SPAS is, guys, for the shuttle is basically a little probe that has RCS on it that they pull out of the shuttle's payload bay and they let it go, and it has RCS and it can fly away and it can give you a third person of the shuttle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Somewhere
and then
out there,
it just moves back and they grab it and put it back in.
bingo, exactly. STS-51 deployed one of those, right? And it had an IMAX camera on it. Do you see where I'm going with this RE Starlinks and real satellite deployment? Yeah?
I do, but
If
I
here,
mean, here's the thing. That's a waste of a V3 satellite, I feel like, if you're going to do that. There's also, if you're going to stream it down, then there's the bandwidth thing of a different vehicle streaming besides Starship. So then you have another license that you have to deal with there.
Mhm.
I don't think they would waste a perfectly good V3 satellite and all of that just to test it on the final V2. So I'm going to say no.
you know what I want
Okay.
though?
But
Although I don't know if the production would like this either. There's two options, I think, because I want to see the deployment from cameras outside the vehicle and not, orbital night. Either you launch it at night, so a Starship night launch, which, I mean, yes,
yes.
or
Yes.
you do it, or you do an early morning launch like the early ones, like Flight 5 and earlier, so that you can have the ship in sunlight all the way until it gets to the Indian Ocean. Then it's nighttime for reentry. I kind of want a night launch and then land like midday, evening in the Indian Ocean, and you can then maybe see Starlink deployment with daylight, and then we also get a night launch of Starship for Flight 11. Maybe I'd like it.
Yep.
Let's do it. I think that's
Yeah. No, I think night launching is something we could all get behind. But Ryan, I do think you got to go to work, man.
Yeah, I got to work in a little bit, so I will sign off and say bye to everyone. And I guess EJ and Sawyer can remain on for a little bit without me.
You're gonna say bye to everybody here. There's a lot of us.
I'll say bye.
Name everyone.
Bye, everyone. There. How about that?
Hey Ryan,
Yes.
I'm a little late on this, but I think you should see it before you leave because I should have played it a couple minutes ago. Hold on.
Buddy, man's gotta go. Rankings. Oh, what? That's awesome. You know what's even better? It just said Jack. That's why that's even funnier.
I mean, Jack is usually the one who is muted, but talking about our talented community, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. There's an accent over the A, but that's from Hendrik, in our Discord.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's
And
awesome.
on that bombshell, Ryan, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Always enjoy your insightful commentary, as pessimistic as it is.
I try, Yeah, so.
No, that theory crafting, the blank check conversation was good. That was fun, though.
Oh, yeah, I knew we were gonna have a conversation with that one. That was always Anyways, and so I guess CJ, EJ,
right,
and Sawyer. Jesus. Anyways, yep.
You need sleep.
Bye, Ryan.
Soren, I need
Bye.
sleep. Saying, all right, man.
I just shove him off the screen.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, I said. Be gone. Anyway, sorry, it's just you and me now.
That's dangerous. You've seen what happens when it's just you and me.
I know, it's great. It's gonna be real fun.
Am I chopping?
All right. Wait, Kevin's here too. Never mind. We gotta.
Oh, darn.
God.
All right. So, Sawyer, how long do you think we're going to see till Block 3? I mean, Elon has said that they're going to fly Block 3 this year. Do you think we're going to get there? I mean, Flight 11 is clearly going to happen sometime soon. How far do you think we are out till Block 3 flies?
I think either January or February. I don't think it's going to be this year because there's going to be all that downtime still. So whenever they launch the next flight, Flight 11, if they were even to launch it 2 weeks from now, it's not going to make a difference because you're not refurbing Pad 1. You're now having to switch everything over to Pad 2. You're also talking, in a way, a new vehicle. You've got so many new designs. You've got, again, as we see, the integrated hot stage ring that's new. You've got the new grid fins with the integrated catch portions. There's so many new things on this vehicle that it's just the law of spaceflight that every time you think your date is right, it's going to actually push right because you're testing new things. So I think by the time they get Pad 2 up, which they're making still amazing progress on, get all of the GSE tested because we know how great GSE is in spaceflight,
I love that.
and then get all the new
Everything.
stuff tested, I think we're looking at January or February.
Yeah. As much as I want to say this year, that's pretty much probably how it's gonna be looking. That's gonna be one heck of a dry spell. What are we gonna do?
I mean, we've had long dry spells because of things going kaboom, so
Yeah.
not the worst.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know what? You know what? In my mind, 2026 is like, oh, that's 2026. Oh, that's so far away. It's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's September already.
Dude, it's not. That's not that far. That's a good point. Oh no.
I know.
What happened? Where'd the summer
know.
go? Where'd the summer go, man? Jeez.
Who knows?
All right. We got a little bit more support here. I'm going to plug through it. Camille Kengan again with €6. Going to make that remix tomorrow, or at least try to. Oh, Camille, you are my hero. Thank you very much. Please do that. Echo Deal with $5 super chat. What type of ice cream do you use for a Shuttle Sunday? All of them. Dude, the space shuttle is the banana split of launch vehicle. It is very complicated, but man, is it good.
The banana goes in the payload bay hole.
Well, no, the bananas are your SRBs in this analogy.
I thought that would be part of the payload bay. It's the payload because it's the split.
Then what are the boosters then?
I mean, I'm trying to think what else goes in a banana split. I haven't had one in forever.
Really? What? Oh man, no. Hear me out. In the banana split, your bananas are your SRBs. Whatever ice cream flavors, it's Neapolitan. So, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. That's your external tank. And then the toppings are your space shuttle.
Well,
because the space shuttle is the cherry on top.
Wouldn't it be that strawberry is the external tank and then the vanilla and chocolate are the thermal blanket and heat shield tiles?
That could also work, yes.
Do you think of the color of it? It literally matches out like that with Neapolitan. And then I guess the question is, what would be the point of the whipped cream and what would be the cherry on top?
The whipped cream is the Nomex. And the cherry on top is the Fight Club.
Is that the payload itself?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say the shuttle is the cherry on top, not the payload. Just saying.
Shuttle is not a cherry. Again, I feel like you've got the ice cream covered as the shuttle because that's the main portion of it is the shuttle. So that's why you have the external tank and then you have the thermal blanket and you have the thermal the thermal tiles. What's this about real news coming up?
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, we answered the question, all right? This is not on us for going off the rails. We were just answering the question. Look at the thing. Look at the thing down there. See that? We were just answering the question. I was staying on topic. All right. Next.
Hang on. Actually, I think I know what it would be.
Okay. Go. Shoot.
It would be here, hang on, let me find the list. Here we go. It would be Chip and Dip from Ben & Jerry's. You know why? It's a canceled flavor.
The shuttle didn't get canceled. It got retired. Okay, it got retired.
Yeah, potato.
All right. Next bit of support. Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
Sophie. There you go. VAB. No, not that one.
Flame Kate Gabriel. I love it. Nice. So Rick Linen with a $10 super chat. Rick, what's on your mind? I think there should be an international agreement stating that there shall not be any significant infrastructure on the Earth-facing side of the moon. It should be preserved for future generations. I mean, Rick, dude, even if you had something the size of Manhattan on the moon, it would be tough. It would be tough to see it. It'd be tough to see it even from here. Like dude, you could have 1 million people living on the moon, and it would be tough to see from Earth. I mean, it is a good ways away, but I mean, there should be some. I think conservation is something that should be taken into account when we go. I mean, as much as you can. I mean, the moon's, as far as we know, the moon is just a big rock. But I mean, you know what, Rick? I got a good idea. And so, you tell me if this is a bad idea. Maybe we should go up there and figure out if anything needs to be conserved. That's a good idea. We should do that.
Nah, terrible idea. We should just hang in the space station above it because Bridenstine and Gateway.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no.
Bring
All
it
right.
back, baby. Bring it back. Recall.
There you go. Telstar 86 with 2 pounds. The cherry on top is the crane on the tower.
Oh, well, will it still be there for this next episode? Jack will have to find out.
Yep. We got Susan with the store message here. Mentioning the hats reminded me I didn't even finish off my patch collection with Flight 10. I cannot wait to see what SpaceX does with 11, but especially what the NSF patch looks like. Hey, thank you, Susan. We appreciate it. Thank you. You guys know I'm not one for plugging merch all the time. I actually really like this hat, but yeah, we do appreciate all the support. Seriously, a lot of it goes into getting you merch like this and getting you these camera shots that you see all the time. I mean, we don't drive Ferraris around, okay? I drive a pickup truck from 1997. It's not like we're pocketing this and being like, yeah, we do this because we love it. And the support is just purely there to give you guys better content. Like, we also got to put food on the table, but most of it is, to get you the best content that you possibly can. So we do appreciate the support.
Also, speak for yourself. I drive a pretty pimped out Chevy Traverse, baby.
How much? Are you telling me you're making more money than me?
I ain't calling you a trooper. No, I don't know. All I will say is modifications to make vehicles handicap accessible is about as much, if not more, than the car itself. So
yeah,
they ain't a cheap ride.
I got a welder. If you want a handy-capable Ferrari, we can make that happen. Just saying.
Maybe it's not enough money to actually buy the Ferrari, though. But
See, yeah, there you go.
I mean, we have the Ferrari of CP11s.
We do have the Ferrari of CP11s. Anyway, all right, Sawyer. I think let's put a cherry on top of this banana split of a flame trench, and
on this shuttle.
On this shuttle of a flame trench. Yeah, baby. Sawyer, thank you for being here. I know, you didn't, like me, you didn't have a particularly good day, but hopefully we made it better. And we do thank you for being here.
It was a really nice distraction, I gotta say. No, it was good to hang out with everybody here. Thanks, chat, for being a great sport about all of it. And yeah, my baby picture is now on the internet. There we go.
I don't know why you would want to do that, but all right. Anyway, so also we got Kevin behind the scenes at KMR. I think it's Kevin Monitors Reed. He's our producer here, heading up this flame trench. We do thank everybody that contributes. We got the list of all the memberships for YouTube. We do appreciate all that. And then NSF is on all types of socials. We're on every type of social you can. LSR, I didn't forget. There you go.
Kevin, your name was spelled wrong. It was spelled R-E-E-D, isn't it? R-E-I-D?
Oh.
No.
No. Just flat no.
Someone misspelled it.
Thank you to all the launch directors. Thank you to all the flight engineers. We do appreciate, guys. We appreciate all your support once again. I just thanked everybody, so we're good. Unless you want me to thank you again, I'll thank you till I'm blue in the face. It's fine. But either way, we'll do that on another NSF Flame Trench next week. I am EJ. I stream on Twitch, and I've been your host with the most, the master of ceremonies, for the last 2 hours. And I hope you guys enjoy Twist, which is coming up right now. Kevin, roll us out, dude.
And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be nominal.
chamber pressure looks good.
Rolling up.
Water towers, fly! Yes! Echo down to nominal.
Flighting downside FD off. Bring in FD off. It's orange!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
Look at this!
Put that in the big bag,
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
This methane will be igniting